This is Baiwan, Guangdong, just a few hours' travel from Hong Kong, one of the world's richest cities. Baiwan is not a rich place. A week's hard work will earn these people, if they are lucky, only the equivalent of a couple of American dollars. Come with us to these misty mountains and hear a story, a tale which with your help will have a happy ending. These are the children of the mountains. They walk along stone paths to a place which has become very special to them. A school built with love, sweat, tears, and money from friends in Hong Kong. The children's feet are bare and their clothes dusty. Not surprising, since some have to walk for 2 or even 3 hours. When the Kai Oi Primary School was being built, the number of children of age in this area was estimated at 300. But when it opened in 1995, many young faces appeared who were not on the official list. The school had to cope with 600 children, and next term will have 700. Here we are at the school gates, and the school has thrown a welcome party for us. The youngsters haven't forgotten their Hong Kong friends. Officers from the Hong Kong Christian Council raised much of the budget of 1.7 million Hong Kong dollars it cost to build the school. But where on earth did all the extra children come from? They appeared as if by magic from little homes in the mountains, from distant villages where they had been tucked away for one reason or another. Curiously, some of the children did not have black hair. Their poor diet meant they had pigmentation problems, resulting in brown or reddish hair. But there's no doubt about one thing. Today, the school is enormously popular, and the youngsters seem to be thriving.
In the developing process, and we wish that we can cooperate with friends from outside to make it the development become reality.
Philip Lam of the Hong Kong Christian Council and the Sunbeam volunteers have been careful at every step to work together with the local officials and include them in the planning. Each of these children have been sponsored by a well-wisher from Hong Kong, so they need not fear about the costs of books, pens, and other materials. But you know, it quickly became obvious that what was being financed was not stationery. What was being provided was hope. Hope for the future, hunger for knowledge, dreams of a better life. But who's this? Sunbeam volunteers noticed there were a number of children who hung around, scruffy and aimless, as if they had no homes to go to. They were orphans. But how could young children survive by themselves? Where did they sleep? The children led us over a bridge to the other side of the village, where we find the answer. There were also children at the school who did not rush home when lessons ended. They lived too far away and only went home at weekends. On the way, we met many village people, and their friendly reaction showed the good relations and the good growth between Baiwan and volunteers from Hong Kong. Baiwan is the poorest community in Guangdong, with an income per head of just 26 American dollars a year. As we stroll past the older inhabitants, the children explained that some 24 of them were camping in a derelict building where they would share small rooms, since their homes in the mountains were too far away to return to after school. Here's the building they had been using. Let's follow Philip Lam inside. Meals were cooked on an old brick stove. Sticks gathered from outside would serve as fuel. The only source of water was a single old pump. On the menu today, and probably for the rest of the week, corn congee, a watery rice soup with little nutritional value. It was obvious that the premises were too primitive and unsanitary for anyone, let alone children on their own. It was remarkable that they had survived there so long. Here was a need, a serious one. These children needed a decent place to sleep, especially since the winters in the area can be quite harsh, with frequent snowfalls. As Sunbeam volunteers looked around the premises, they realized that what was needed was a center which would be a weekday home for the ones from distant mountain homes, and a permanent home for orphans in the area. Somewhere clean and pleasant, with a kitchen and a clinic, and preferably close to the school. But we took breaks for really important things, such as playing with the children. Language and cultural barriers disappeared.
3, that's hard. 4. Open, shut them, open, shut them, give a little clap, clap, clap. Open, shut them, open, shut them, put them in your lap, lap, lap. Creep them, creep them, creep them, creep them, right up to your nose. Creep them, creep them, creep them, creep them, right down to your toes.
Children were encouraged to produce paintings for sale at charity auctions in Hong Kong. Some of them had never used paintbrushes before, but the glee in their faces showed how much fun they found their task. It was the children's faces which inspired people to get to work. Back in Hong Kong, a host of volunteers quickly joined Sunbeam, including an architect, a doctor, a lawyer, a publicist, and many others. We knew we could sell all paintings for a few hundred or a few thousand Hong Kong dollars each, a tiny sum there, but unimaginably riches to the children or adults here. The fundraising for the Sunbeam Children's Village had begun. In Baiwen, land was granted by local officials. The Sunbeam Children's Village began to take shape. The orphans won't be forgotten, as well as school children from the distant mountains. There will be space in the new home for the orphans of the area. Building costs for the center, which will house 140 children and 16 staff, are estimated at 1.5 million Hong Kong dollars. But once the building is up, there will be running costs and staff to pay, so a lot of money is needed. Once fundraising started in earnest in Hong Kong, the project quickly broke religious barriers involving Jewish, Christian, and Buddhist members, and people of a variety of nationalities and cultures. Why the name Sunbeam? The sun was chosen because it is a simple, positive motive that has no political or religious associations. The sun plays a part in all our lives. Will you help us? We'd like to invite you to join hands with us, which means joining hands with China's children. We're painfully aware that the only way we can make the Sunbeam Children's Village a reality is with your help. But now it's time to leave. The children wave goodbye, and we're back on the dusty road. In Chinese, this craggy terrain is known as the Sunny Mountains. This seems odd. We've only seen the hills surrounded in mist. But we leave with a thought. One way or another, some rays of sunshine are definitely on their way to the children of the Misty Mountains.